Welcome. In this video, we will explain how to understand candle ranges. After previous videos in which we explained the techniques for understanding block system ranges and price action ranges, in this video we will explain how to understand price ranges in relation to, and in combination with, the element of time. Candle ranges present a price range, but one that is adapted to the time represented by the candle itself. It is a kind of timer range, which allows us to understand price ranges in a slightly more scientific way. The difference between the techniques, and which technique to use and when, depends on the type of information we are looking for, and on how much certainty versus precision we seek in our analysis. Each technique provides a different type of insight, tailored to the kind of information we are trying to extract. Whether we are looking for scalping opportunities, intraday positions, or long-term positions. By choosing the right technique, we can achieve higher probabilities and greater accuracy, aligned with the goal of the analysis we are performing. Alright, so first we'll explain the principle behind the technique, and then we'll demonstrate on the chart how it works. We identify the price range using the most recently formed candle. This can be a weekly, daily, or hourly candle, depending on the time context and on the balance between precision and probability that we are looking for. The price range is defined from the candle's opening price to the extreme high or low. That is, from the candle's open to its high or to its low. As shown in the image, the 0 represents the starting point of the range, which is the candle's opening price. The 1 represents the high or the low of the range. Why do we measure from the open to the extreme? Because this is the price range in which the market enters price discovery. In other words, the candle is operating in new territory. The reactions within this new range provide clues about what price intends to do next, and about the direction it is likely to continue toward, based on the liquidity that is logically being formed. Now we will understand how to interpret the price range and identify the main forces that pull it. The most basic and superficial layer of the range logic is the center of gravity of range discovery. This area leaves behind a significant amount of liquidity and represents a level that price will want to return to in most cases. In cases where price does not return to this area, we can infer that there is an unhealthy structure, one that has accumulated a large amount of liquidity without being properly interacted with. Linear logic is the fractality of the range. If a whole can be divided into halves, then each half can also be divided into halves. These are the linear forces, and these are the internal price ranges that pull price. They are fractal price ranges, and they generate ratios such as 1:4, 1:8, 1:16, and so on. And finally, the most complex version, the fractality of Fibonacci ratios. These transform the internal forces of the candle into parts of price ranges that exist outside the candle itself. They effectively turn the 0 and 1 levels into the boundaries of parallel price ranges, and link the internal logic of the candle's range to the broader logic of price movement, including the candles that come before and after the candle representing the range. Now let's look at the hourly price range of Bitcoin's candle range. I mark the range and apply a Fibonacci grid from the candle's open to its high. After that, I drop down to the 5-minute or 15-minute time frame, and we can start working within the hourly range. Fibonacci ratios of that range. It tells me that an oscillation is expected around the 1.0 level, based on the precise wick that touched it without forming an oscillation around it. That exact wick touch is a preparation for a move, a preparation of liquidity ahead of an oscillation. In addition, I linearly flatten the lower part of the range. Price should interact with it after the oscillation around 1.0, and that interaction allows us to understand whether price will continue upward, or return back to 1.0 and move below it. Price performs a dance, and if you learn to read that dance through Fibonacci ratios and price movement, you can even hear the music. Alright, this is how it ended. Price respected the hypothesis perfectly. Now, let's look at price movement, and understand how it behaved within the price range, and how it reacted to the current price discovery created by the hourly candle.